What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video for latest podcast. This time is for the NXT review video on review on September 3rd, 2024. We're going to be seeing the fallout from this past Sunday of No Mercy, and this was a very entertaining episode of NXT, like always. The intriguement, if that's even a word, continued with tonight's NXT, like following from their premium live event they just had 2 days ago, and there you got things ready for next week's NXT on the WWE Week of USA, and they also getting things ready for the premiere show on WWE. I mean, on their NXT debut show on the CW as well, with one particular match that we're probably going to be waiting until Halloween Havoc, but it seems like they're going to be doing a tad early, and we could see a title change into that show. And I hope it does main event that show, which is very rare for the women to main event an NXT show like these days and this time. But we're gonna get all into that like as soon as we talk about the other things that happened at the beginning, like after they showed the recap of NXT. I followed this up with Pete Dunne and with All Ego Eat the Page, go up. Went right into the came out to the ring. This is where then he was talking. All right, this is where then we got at first what I'm talking about. It was not Ethan Page. It was Trick Williams that came out first with him, like already ready for his match against the Bruiserweight. Pete Dunne. This is where then the Trick Williams like yo everybody, like how everybody doing first of all, like. But I wish I could speak more about that. But I appreciate y'all talking. But I'm out here to do a bunch of talking. I'm here to do I'm here to get into action. Like I came out for action, and I'm for a reason, and that's that one reason only. And then yes, sir, and ma'am, I'm talking about Pete Dunne, and he's the one that started this. He's like, but I'm gonna be finishing it, and then this is where the fans start chanting, "Whoop that trick!" Actually, they were chanting "Whoop that Butch," and this is where then we got Trick Williams then call out the Bruiserweight and say like come out here now, and this is where then but instead of the NXT the former NXT UK champion coming out, it was none other than the NXT champion. All Ego Ethan Page then came out in this very clean suit, like with this very shiny gray dress jacket. This is where it is like I'm sorry, I'm not the guy you're actually looking for of the night, and that is Pete. But I am the new NXT champion, the one that you had to count the three for him to retain, and that is me, All Ego Ethan Page. And he's like, you were the one that was raising my hand this past Sunday on No Mercy. He was rubbing it all over his face, and this is where then this is where they start singing that song that Joe Hendry made up that Ethan Page hates the most, and that was Ethan sucks and believe in Joe, and Ethan put on some clothes, and he put some nice clean clothes, I got to admit, to the All Ego wrestler. And I know I don't compliment that much to him, but I'm going to do it tonight with him looking very nice. This is where then Ethan Page continues saying but you, he was I may not be defending the championship, but I am actually one of the guys that is opening show. And I figured that you would know that Trick. But that's right. You always successfully. It is where he's like, and the last time I checked, with you, the only time you successfully defend your NXT championship was once, while I did it twice. First was Oro, and then next it was And next, it was Joe Hendry, guys that are way less deserving of a shot at the championship more than you. And if there's somehow you do beat Pete Dunne tonight, then you're going to be my next victim or something like that. And this is where then Trick Williams is and I did call your title match right down the middle. This is where and they start, and this is where the fans are cheering along with Joe Hendry's song that he made for Ethan Page, where he's like, "But don't get me wrong, like I am coming back for my title, though. Don't even worry about it, Ethan. But for now, like I got some unfinished business that I need to handle with Pete Dunne." And that's where the Ethan Page started chuckling, like, yeah. Let's go back to a couple words you just said. Like you said, it's your title that I'm holding. Really? Like that's very ironic. Like I thought that Ethan Page, like defending his championship in 4 weeks, like when we moved to the CW network in October 1st on Tuesday night in Chicago, your favorite wrestler CM Punk's hometown. I can know. And when I check that onto the on that banner, like it's Ethan Page that's defending the title, not you, because you're worried about because you're the one that's worried about trying to get a chance of winning back the championship, which you're not. And this where it's but I would be surprised even if you made it to Chicago, if you do get past Pete. And this where before he can even finish off his promo shot at promo message shot at against what's his name, Trick Williams. We got Pete Dunne coming out of nowhere, trying to attack him and ambush him from behind. But it's where we got Trick Williams then took a page and learned it from Rhea Ripley's playbook and was not dumb enough to get an ambush from behind, and he dodged out of the way. Trick Williams then hit him with a right knuckle shot. He then got hit a second. That's where he started repeatedly doing so until the referee started coming out. Is where they were in a huge brawl fight. And let me tell you, before they even got into their match properly, this is where they were keep doing this like a couple more times, but we're gonna get to that in just a moment. But this is where we got Hank and Tank then was backstage saying we're gonna be winning those NXT Tag Team Championships, and he's like, but this where it's and we're gonna post it all over on our social media content, and this is where we got Gallows Boys then start mocking him about it. This is where then Hank and Tank is this is where Tank Ledger was like, as a matter of fact, I just refueled my tank right now. So how about we get the number one contenders match started right here? This is where it's if that and this is where then Mark Hoff's like, oh yeah, you want to? This is where luckily the referees was there before, else they would have got into this fight. They would have gotten this brawl and fight. They would have gotten this fight and started the match early, but luckily they got ready into the ring. I got them ready to the ring as soon as they can. I'll say, thank goodness for the refs, for being so responsible than usual, because normally they would suck. But that'll be for a different topic for a different day. But this is where we got Jada Parker to start cracking up with her having her suitcase on, having her normal clothes on. This is where then we got the fatal influence of JC Jane, Jasmine Nix, and Fountain Henley started making fun of her. Oh, look, it's Jada Parker, you. And this is where then they were like if I didn't know better, I would say that you're forgetting something. He's like, but no, it's just what's that Mandela effect, because you lost against Roxanne Perez, and let me tell you something, she did a very excellent job even in defeat. She looked good, she looked like she could have won that match, which I'll say if it was any other time she probably would have. But I guess it's not her time yet, but it will. She will get that shot at the NXT Women's Championship again. Unfortunately, it won't be again anytime soon because Roxanne has more competition that you worry about at this time. And also, but yeah, this is where we got Jada Parker then continued. I mean, then what's that? Responded back saying I'm not trying to be looking for yeah, y'all talking, but unlike you, I'm not trying to look at for clout like you guys. Is where we got Jay. This where then we got this where then she this is where we got Jay. I mean, what's her name? What's that? What's her name? Found he was like, oh yeah, Randall, Miss Kitty Cat Parker has some claws to speak like that. This is where then Jasmine Nick was like yeah, that was some very tough words from you, Jada, honey. But if your heart is not as broken as your ribs, then Like then I'll do a match with you tonight, and this is where then she was like, this is where Jada Parker responds like, okay, like that won't be no problem with me, and make sure you bring your little carnies with you while you're at it. And this is where then Jada Parker, I mean, this is where them got JC Jane and found him. We took offense to it, but they're like, you're not even worth our time, so screw you. And this is where we got into the match, which was the Rascals and. It is a tough pick the who's going to pick the match of the night award because this triple threat tag team match was really good, but also Pete Dunne versus Trick Williams was good as well. I'll say the way that the match ended, though, I'm going to have to give the second place spot, and I'm going to have to give this NXT tag team number one contenders match. This triple threat number one contenders NXT tag team title match, the first match of the night, with the Rascals taking on Hank and Tank and the Gallows Boys. This match was definitely the show stealer. Some of y'all probably say the most underrated match of the night. Perhaps you're right. That's why I'm giving it the number one spot of the night because there was no other match that could beat this. Like Pete Dunne and Trick, they did a good job. Same with Jada and Jasmine Nix. But Jasmine Nix and Jada gets the third place spot. Like, because of, these matches are very too good to be any lower than number one and number two. But we're going to get into the tag team matches. It started off with Wolfgang, Tank Ledger, and Trey Miguel with what's his name? Trey Miguel. Trey Miguel and Tank Ledger try to send what's his name? Wolfgang on the outside, like so they don't have to worry about the Gallus problem. But the problem was like he immediately came back in like once Tank Ledger got the offense and the advantage over Trey Miguel. He tried to go for a pin, but he meddled with him and stopped him. Even though, like, if he didn't meddle, I believe Trey Miguel would have kicked out of that maneuver. This is where we got Wolfgang that got rid of Trey Miguel into the outside, where he tags in his brother Wolfgang. Joe Coffey, his made-up brother, I should say. This is where the double hip toss. What's his name? Tank Ledger, but he immediately kicked out 2.4. He started stomping him until we saw Trey Miguel came back in. He hits a sliding Hurricane Rana to him, like into a turnover. This is where he hits a double foot stomp on the Tank Ledger, trying to go over pin. This is where we got Mark Coffey then metal, just like his made-up brother. This is where then we got Mark Coffey then grab onto the Trey Miguel. This is where he bounced him right to the left towards the right. This is where he goes for a clothesline. Trey Miguel ducks, goes for the left side, slides Hurricane Rana's him right into the bottom left side. This is where he going for a knife edge chop onto the chest onto Mark. And this is where then he hits a drop kick right in the back of his neck. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where we got Tank Ledger then metal and stop him. This is where it was. I was like, this is why triple threat matches are kind of disadvantaged, right? Because anything goes. And it's every man, and if it's a women's match, I'll say every woman for themselves. But this is where we got Mark Coffey then go for a clothesline right onto what's his name, Trey Miguel. This is where Mark then pick up Trey and then Irish whip him to the left. This is where we got Trey Miguel then hang on to the ropes. Smart move from the former X Division champion. He dodged out of the way. This is where, like, before he dodged, though, he got tagged right to the back by Zachary Wentz. This is where then we got what's that name? Mark Coffey misses him by a couple inches. He gets super kicked right into the face once he landed right into the middle ropes. This is where then we got Trey Miguel then going for a springboard sunset flip with Trey Miguel going for this a missile drop kick right in the leg, hitting face first. This is where we got Zachary Winston got him in the neck breaking lock right in the floor. This is where we got Trey Miguel going for a drop kick. This is where we got him going for the pin. Referee count to 1, referee count to 2. But this is where Tank Ledger then went for the save and meddled again. This is where we got Trey Miguel hit a right hand onto him. This is where he picked up what's his name? Mark Coffey hit a knife edge chop onto him. This is where then he started going back and forth until he got what's his name? Mark Coffey right into the bottom corner ropes. He tried to Irish whip him right to the top, but this is where we got Mark Coffey throws Zachary Wentz right into the top corner side. This is where we got Tank Ledger then caught him. This is where he used his Zachary Wentz's leg as a weapon, like the knock over Mark Coffey, like if it's a leg version of the clothesline. This is where Oh no, it was Tank. It was Hank Walker. It was Hank Walker that tagged in that Tank Ledger that did that and knock over Hank. Then knock over what's his name? Mark Coffey. This is where we got Tank Ledger got back in the ring, even though he wasn't tagged in. Referee's like, yo, you need to get back to your post, even though there is no disqualification. But this is where he what's his name? Trey Miguel tried to go for crossbite onto to Tank Ledger, but he grabbed onto him. This is where he power slams him. But this is where we got. But this is where then we got both Gallus boys of Mark Coffey and Wolfgang try to go for a clothesline on the Tank Ledger and Hank Walker. This is where they done hits an atomic drop right onto the Gallus boy. This is where they're like, come on, like Tank and Hank, the Tank and Hank train power. It's where they clobbered them into a sandwich right onto the Gallus boys. They then what else happens is where we got they did had the advance for at one hand until we got Trey Miguel came back in the ring, but he end up getting clobbered by Wolfgang that got back in, was on a mean streak. And this is where then he set his attention onto Tank Ledger. He tags in Mark Coffey so they can do their double team onto the team of Hank and Tank. One half of the Hank and Tank duo. This is where then we got what else happened? It was then Mark Coffey did the same by hitting him with a clobbering clothesline right onto what's his name? Onto Trey Miguel, was it? This is where we got what else happened right here? It was. And then, they had the offense in for a little while until we got Zachary Wentz got the hot tag. This is where he started making the comeback. And then this is where, but eventually we got this is where Zachary Wentz started playing wrestling tennis with Hank Walker and Mark Coffey. And this is where they start going back until we got Hank Walker had enough of this. He runs right to the left side. He goes dodging out of the double clothesline. This is where we got Hank Walker go to the right side, double clotheslines both Zachary Wentz and Mark Coffey. This is where Tank Ledger is like, come on, tag me in, brother. And then this is where Hank Walker's like, I'm on my way. And then this is where he tried to go for a tag. He tags in Tank Ledger. He got the big old hot tag like what Zachary Wentz got. But this is where he started hitting his comeback onto the Gallus boys. Most of it to what's his name? To Mark Coffey. He hit Wolfgang with a big elbow splash right on the hem in the bottom right side. And this is where he sent him on the outside. He did that cartwheel duck out of Mark Coffey's clothesline. This is where he hits a clothesline of his own. This is where we got what's his name? Tank Ledger then going for a suplex, but he flips him over into a spine buster. This is where he tried to go for a pin. But this is where we got Zachary Wentz hit a double foot stomp, saving things. And we got Tank Ledger would have helped got the win. If it wasn't for that meddling spike colorful hair kid. And then this is where we got Trey Miguel got back into the ring. This is where he was like, after hitting Tank with an insecurity kick, this is where then he getting tagged in by Zachary Wentz. This is where he wrist locked what's his name? Mark Coffey. This is where he hot shotted his arm right to the top rope. He flipped right over. He slips over his leg. He gets a drop kick onto what's his name on the side of his head onto what's his name, Mark Coffey. This is where then we got Tank Ledger got back in the ring. He dug out the clothesline, hits a knife edge chop that's probably not not hard hitting like how the Ring General does it, but it still got him into 100 part to his list, and the Ring General is waiting for him to make his main roster debut so he could teach him a lesson about mocking him, even though he may not meant it, but in the eyes of the Ring General, like he does. But this is where we got what's his name, Trey Miguel then super kicks that's where we got Trey Miguel super kicks Mark Coffey right in the midsection when he was trying to head his way. This is where he puts what's his name, Tank Ledger right underneath his arm. This is where he grabbed onto the arm of what's his name, Mark Coffey. It's a back kick right into the head. He goes for a swinging neck breaker to make Mark Coffey DDT. What's his name, Tank Ledger, killing two birds with one stone. And this is why this man is That's why this man's the best, like when it comes to wrestling in general, especially with the high flying maneuvers. Like, and yeah, I mean, even though like you don't have to be you don't have to do flippy doodah maneuvers just to be the best wrestler in the world. Like, you just run from your own pace and do what you do best. That's what makes you the best wrestler in the business. But like, just like my boy Simon Miller said, you get in where you fit in. But this is where you try to go for a pin. You probably would have got away with it if it wasn't for that Wolf Beast kid and that and that and that meddling brawler that used to be a security guard and a football player, that guy. But this is where we got Hank Walker then try to grab onto Wolfgang, but this is where Wolfgang elbows him right into the face. He throws Trey Miguel right over the top rope, landing right onto his rascal brother, Zachary Wentz. But this is where luckily Hank Walker got back to consciousness. No, yeah, it was Hank Walker. I'm right. He tossed him over the top rope. He put him right to the left side. This is where then we got but this is where Tank Ledger didn't go rob him top rope, clotheslines him out of the ring. This is where then Joe Coffey came in saying like, "Hey, you can't do that to my brothers. Like, this is like, he's not even a legal mind. And he should be disqualified." And this is where the referee's like, first of all, it's not disqualification because it's the triple threat tag team match. Secondly, like why you're distracting? Like, I know your tricks. Like, I was like, it's about time the referee realized that it's all just a trap. Like because like even if they do something illegal, like they still won't be disqualified unless the referee forgets that it's a triple threat tag team match, and that still occurs in the no DQ. And the no DQ still occurs into this type of stipulated contest. But this is where then we got. This is where we got Javon Evans that was like I have enough of this nonsense, and I want and the best way to get some revenge is to distract him and beat the hell out of him and help one of these face tag teams get the win. Is where he started hitting right hand right into the face, start giving the beating to the Gallus leader and older brother. This is where we got those meddling good brothers that came out and attack Hank. What's that? Tank Ledger, I believe, or no, Hank Walker knocked him out. Like, this is where luckily Tank Ledger came out and knocked out both Gallows and Anderson out of the ring. This is where it nearly cost them the match because like this is where we got Mark Coffey try to go for a clothesline that would look pretty devastating. But luckily Tank Ledger then managed to hit a clothesline on him. This is where they were trying to be their own version of their own WWE version of Adam and Maxwell by going for a double clothesline. This is where then we got Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz. Then got up on the top rope. Zachary right into the upper right. Then Trey Miguel in the upper left. This is where we got first. It was what's his name? Trey Miguel hits the Meteora by him in the snapmare position and. Right on to Tank Ledger while Zachary Wentz go for the Swanton. They go for the pin. They got the 3. The winner of this match and the next number one contender for next week's NXT is none other than the Rascals Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz. And do you think that we're gonna see new tag team champions in the next 7 days? I would love to say that, but some just tells me that this feud between Wesley and the Rascals is not over just right yet. And because they didn't give any confirmation on that. Like, so I think that we could see some shenanigans going on and they can but I still think they're gonna have a great match with them going to be doing flippy dude high flying cruiserweight moment having some flippy cruiserweight moments, like them going high up in the air, going fast, like if it's a tag team version of the speed tournament, like the WWE Speed, I should say, like if it's a 3-minute time limit. But yeah, I think that we're gonna be seeing that, like most likely gonna happen. But let me know down in the comments. Like, is that gonna happen along with Wesley meddling with his former Rascal brothers, costing them the tag team championships. And we'll also be teasing a split between Axiom and Nathan Frazier, which that probably won't be happening until later on, like when they actually do lose those tag team championships. And yeah. But yeah, this was a pretty good contest, match of the night on my eyes. But this is where we got Sarah Schreiber then going right on to what's his name? Nathan Frazier and Axiom. This is where we got Sarah Schreiber's like congratulations. This is where Nathan Frazier then responds like, thank you very much, Sarah. And this is where it's like the NXT tag team titles are right where they belong. Like, ain't that right, Axiom? This is where Axiom's like you have to And this is where it's like, and despite all the accidents and the miscommunications, like we still managed to bring back where they belong. Like, and we know that what's their names, the Rascals are not an easy target, so we're gonna try to keep up as much as we can. And this where it's like, yeah, like time's been ruthless, but we do know what our challenges are. And Nathan Fraser, and he's like, and that's extremely exciting. This is where then Sarah Schreiber's like, yeah, we just saw the Rascals just get the victory and became number one contender. This is where then she spotted the Rascals quickly came backstage, like if they were Superman or the Flash, by going just zooming right into the interview booth after their win, with Zachary Wentz holding on to his TNA X Division championship. Even though I'd say that way too many times, like of him holding on to that belt, like specifically, and it just has me couldn't help but notice that. To me, pointed that out, but this is where the Trey Miguel didn't tell Nathan Fraser and Axiom that they don't need to worry. They're just here to congratulate on their latest title win, and this is where Axiom was like, yeah, he's like, yeah, congratulate to you as well, because like this is a match that somebody would have seen as well. And this is where then what's his name? Zachary Wentz was like, yeah, it's all on us. Like training out, like, well, we would like to be on next year and take those tag team titles to you, championship. And I would love to take those to TNA. Like, we would love to take those to TNA, and I'll be a double champion. Like, and be the first ever TNA wrestler to hold both TNA and WWE gold. This is where Nathan Fraser's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, like, hey, Zach, like, yeah, like you have been on a roll, and don't get me wrong, like I've been keeping up with you on TNA, like, and then this where it's like, but isn't this partner gonna end up just like your last one? And this where then Zach was like, hey, like, no, enough of that, like that's not gonna be happening, like this, like he's totally different, like all he cares about is the only thing that like he actually cares about this team, like he. And then he's like, we're gonna win those tag titles. And that's the only thing he has in his mind, and not betrayal and trying to stab him in the back. And I was like, yeah, that's true, but watch out for the guy that did stab both of y'all in the back after like when the last time you fought these guys. But anyways, yeah, this is where we got Nathan Fraser was like, yeah, like it says to the guy that's only holding a singles championship, and then this is where Axiom was like, huh, like, what didn't you want to win singles go? Like, even though I want to, but I'm not gonna call out somebody doing that. Like, because there's nothing wrong with that, as long as like if you're a tag team, like you pay attention to see what's going on as a team as well. And it's where he's like, it's like, okay, come on, amigo. Like, it is where then they walk out of the booth. It's where we got Sarah Schreiber hilariously shrug her shoulders, like did a shrug emoji, I believe. But it's where we got next up, we got Lex King taking on what's his name? Oral Menza, and this was pretty decent. Not like the best match of the night, like not like a 5-star classic, but it didn't have to be just to be very interesting in the mid-card division. But we're gonna get into that with Oral Menza bringing some offense in. I thought this guy was going to win, but it seemed like they have some kind of future programming with these two. This is where we got Oral Menza hit a chop. Lexis King went for a slap, which it was more deadlier than what's his name? Oral Menza. This is where we got Gunther start being his version of Drew McIntyre of him putting somebody on his hit list that's not going to be forgiven by that. Like if Alexis can get moved to Raw, but he got like I'll say maybe the number one spot of the night from that chop alone. This is where we got Oral Menza, then step right back and start fixing his back. This is where Gunther's like, and you, or I'm gonna give you a break, put you on the 20, put you on 20 on the list. And this is where we got Oral Menza to try to go for a dive right onto Lexis King right into the upper left side, but he gets flipped over into the left. He gets enziguri kick. This is where we got I go springboarding, but this is where he pushes him right off, and he landed hard right into the concrete floor. Oh my God! Like I wouldn't be surprised if he suffered an injury. I'm hoping that he doesn't though. This is where we got what's her name? Lash Legend started screaming like, oh my God! And this is where like if Lexis King just murdered him, like the way she was screaming, like cold bloody. She was like, Oral, like are you okay? And this is where then. But this is where we got Oro Menza didn't tell the referee, and the answer with the referee questioning, like, can you still compete? This is where he's like, of course I can. Like, let me in the match. He's like, okay, like if you let me know if you can't. But this is where he just started getting tarnished by the second generation wrestler. Just where then we got. That's where I got Alexis King then start taunting him and then start toying with him. And this is where Irish went from the top going to the bottom. I actually went to the top and he just went running clothesline. And this is where he had him in snapmare position and he kicked him right up on his back. This is where then he hits a knee strike and a forearm strike right to the head. This is where like he got the win right here. But this is where Oro Menza kicks out before the referee even got the 3 at 2.1. And this is where then we got Alexis King start slapping right on the side of the head around. This is where he starts saying like, I'm gonna make you fade away like ashes to ashes and dust to dust. Like, and he's like, and you're not ever gonna be you're not gonna be as a relevant and most popular figure in this business like your friend or Noah. He's like you. You are nothing more than just being known as the hype man and the right hand man. Like this is where then we got Oro Menza shut him up, saying shut the flub up, but with a ginormous right hand right into the jaw. This is where then he was like if you talk too much, or you're gonna get something get beaten with. And he's like, and the only thing I can hit you with is my hands. This is where he started hitting him with his fist repeatedly, like about a dozen times, until the referee pulls him right back. This is where he spins around, dodging the referee. This is where it's a swift kick right to the head. This is where Oro Menza start kneeing him, start punching him, start stomping. And this is where the referee's like yo, like calm down, like you like if you don't like stop like by I count 5, like I'm just giving you a fair warning before I start counting. And he's like, and if you don't understand, like you're gonna be DQ'd. And this is where then Alexis King trips him right over. This is where he trips him down right into the surprise roll-up. The referee did not see what happened. This is where he hits the most devastating move in all of professional wrestling with his feet on the ropes. And then the referee saw this, he probably would have called out Alexis King from doing that. And now probably would have been the downfall of King. But luckily, King did it in the most inconspicuous direction because the referee didn't see it. He was in the opposite side counting the pin because the only thing he see was Alexis King rolled him up for the 3. And that's where Oro Menza is like, are you serious? Like he really just did it by doing it dishonestly. And this is where then Oro Menza is like, you SOB. And this is where then he chased him after him. This is where Alexis King's like, oh no, you're not gonna get. This is where he barely got a big or more like a minor axe handle right into King's back. But this is where we got Luca Crucifino and what's his name? What's his name? Channing Stacks Lorenzo and Adriana Rizzo then start discussing about what just happened this past Sunday. Like what just went down. And this where then Channing Stacks Lorenzo they get out very uncalled for him putting his hands on the both of us. And then this is where then we got. This is where we got Obafemi then came into the ring overconfidently. This is where then we got what's his name? Channing Stacks Lorenzo was like, you got some balls coming in here, like walking in here without any remorse, like after what you did to us. And this is where then what's his name? Obafemi was like, I understand y'all's frustrations and it's very difficult, like for all of you, especially you Stacks, like with. You took the most hits outside in the ringside area, but but your boss was no match for the ruler, like with all due respect. And this is where then Adrian was like, oh please, but you just got lucky because you wanted Mo Mercy. We'll give you credit for that, but you got wasn't it Tony D'Angelo when he was at his weak point, Yeah, way to go. But the Don ain't done with you though. Like despite this loss, like he's gonna work his way back up to this back in the number 1 contenders position. Like, and you in that title, like you're not gonna be holding that for very soon. And this is where then what's the name? Change Stacks Window's like that's right. And this is where then what's his name? Obafemi's like, yeah, that's some big words from a small woman. And then this where and he's like you're. And this where he's like, and this where then he's like, bro, in my culture, like a woman must be. Like he's like, but like a woman in my culture, there's only supposed to be seen, not heard from. And this where then what's her name, Adriana Rizzo was very ticked off. This where she was about to lay some fist. No matter if he's a big, 10 times bigger than her, and let alone being a guy. Like it don't matter any shape or size or gender. Just don't what's that provoke the. I'll say what's her nickname, like like I guess you could say the sister of the D'Angelo family. This is where she was like, you want to see something to show? Like I'll have something to show for you. This is where luckily Luca Crucifino and Channing Stackler was there to hold her back, or else we would have seen her throw fists and she wouldn't give no types of flubs. This is where Tony D'Angelo's like doing this tonight, like. And this is where then Channing Stackler was like, yeah, that's right. While agreeing with the Don, this is where Obafemi gave a huge grin, smiling his teeth, like, yeah, like I like to see that. This is where then Tony D'Angelo's like now, fam, like I know that Stacks is gonna handle business tonight, and he can handle it. Like because nobody's not gonna be talking to you like that, Riz, and get away with it. And this is where then Adriana Rizzo agrees, like, yeah, like he's gonna be wishing that he never spoken like that to me ever. Spoken to me like that in the first place. And this is where we move on to Tatum Paxley taking on Rosemary. And I thought this was going to be Wendy Chu. I'm not sure what was the reason for this. Maybe they wanted to have somebody like from TNA to at least wrestle one match here tonight. I mean, at least in the women's division side of things, in the singles action. Well, or else to say at least a couple of TNA wrestlers, which the Rascals was a couple of them. Like while yeah, Rosemary happened to be the third wrestler from TNA of making it over to the NXT roster. But yeah, let's get into the match. This was very interesting as well, like for being in the women's mid card division. And y'all won't believe what happened after this match at the end of the match, of course, at the post match. Let me rephrase that. But we're going to get into that in right here very shortly. We're going to be starting off with. What's his name? What's her name? It started off with. That's where it started off with Rosemary getting the offense on the Tatum Paxley. This is where then places her right onto the bottom right side. She did a sliding clothesline right onto the doll playing girl. This is where she did a triangle choke right onto the head of Tatum Paxley. Like if she was doing like an upside down version of what Rhea Ripley did this past weekend to Dirty Dominic. And this is where she did it right into the bottom rope in the left corner side. This is where the referee's like, all right, Rose, like let go. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where she had no choice but to let go. This is where then she went back in the ring. This is where then we got this is where we got this is where we got this is where we got what's her name? Tatum Paxley hit a forearm strike and then a chop, and this is where then she tried to go for again, but she ends up getting headbutted right into the forehead by the zombie. The zombie like women's wrestler, I guess you could say, or the clown zombie, whatever you want to call her, like wherever y'all refer her as in TNA. But this is where then she hit the German suplex onto Tatum Paxley after trying to go for a clothesline. This is where then we got Rosemary then collected the doll girl. This is where she hit her with this devastating lariat that looked like that could have put her away. But surprisingly, we got Tatum Paxley got the shoulder up at 2.7. This is where then Rosemary's like, I don't know how is that possible. She kicked out of that maneuver. This is where then she was like, all right, no, that matters. Like it does occasionally does get kicked out. But she's not gonna be kicking out when I twist her neck right into a place where it's not supposed to be located at all. This is where Tatum Pax is like, oh no, you won't. And this is where she slips her right over to the upper right side. This is where she had her leg right into that corner. This is where she hits a cross splash right onto the midsection, onto Rosemary. This is where she flattened her right down to the ground. It's a beautiful elbow, which Booker T called it. This is where she tried to go for a pin, but this is where we got Rosemary kicking out at 2.3. This is where we got Tatum then going for a splash, but this is where she got caught by Rose, and this is where Rosemary spins her around a little bit. This is where she hits her with a fallaway slam on the Paxley. This is where she sends her right to the bottom right corner, but she end up exploder suplex by Rosemary once again, continuing the do a very torturing punishment to the doll. I'll say the creepy doll girl, I guess you could call her. This is where then we got Rosemary didn't grab onto the hair of Tatum. This is where she tried to go for her clothes on. But what Rosemary didn't realize in wrestling, like lightning does not strike twice. Like when it comes to hitting signature or finishing maneuvers. So Tatum Paxley ducks out of the way because it wasn't a guaranteed. She hits a knee buster right onto what's her name? Right onto right onto Rosemary. This is where she hits her finisher, like with like a look like a half inside. What's that? A half backslide, like turn into some kind of a what's that? A vertebreaker slam, like a sideways version. Slams her, goes for the pin, gets the 1-2-3. Winner of this match, Tatum Paxley. Yeah, I'll give her a big congratulations. Nothing too special, but something like intriguing, like when it comes to this feud between Wendy Chu and what's her name, Tatum Paxley. And that's where we got a post-match beatdown, though, with Wendy Chu going for that sleeper with the help of Rosemary doing a 2-on-1 beatdown. But this is where we got the surprising return of a former NXT wrestler, and is none other than the former NXT Women's Champion herself that we just saw made her return on Raw to save Zelina Vega, and that was Lyra Valkyria. Yeah, I said Lyra Valkyria. We thought she would never make it back to the yellow brand, like anytime soon, at least, like because she just made the jump right onto the main roster, and it looked like she's going to be staying on the Raw brand for the time being. Until even if she does make the return, it'll probably be like at least half a decade before she does. But basically, yeah, it shows that WWE, like anything is possible, never rule out anything, I guess you could say. But yeah, she took out both Wendy and Rose. This is where she goes for forearms, insecurity kicks, roundhouse kicks right into the attic, right into the upper left side of Wendy's head. This is where then Lyra's like who wants something next? This is where then Tatum was like, Lyra, that's you? Like you came for me. And this is where then Lyra Valkyria is like, yeah, I haven't forgot about you. You're still my best friend. This is where we saw this is where then we got Tatum Paxley then risen up in excitement because this probably was I guess what's that the highlight of her night, I guess you could say, with her like seeing her former best friend like now I guess reuniting with her potentially being in this tag team match against Wendy Chu and Rosemary. And do you think that's going to be like next week, or maybe they're going to save it for the debut show for NXT to go, or when they go to the CW? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But yeah, this was a very awesome way to bring back Lyra Valkyria, though, like of telling the story. Like she have some unfinished history, I guess you could say, with the creepy doll girl, like with her like being like formerly her stalker and with her being too obsessed with her. And I was just even talking about that just the other day. I was like, she went from that and from to women's championships and then now dolls, like in making